All right, welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I am Andy Mack. That was a little bit of a foot fault, as the tennis folk might say, but the U.S. Open underway in Flushing Meadows again from New York. There's so much excitement around this tournament. A live look there at the Big Apple here on this Sunday. Expanded to 15 days instead of 14. $5 million on the line for the winner. Again, let's be joined right now by Fox 5 New York's Jennifer Williams. You were just taking us through some of your highlights of what we're expecting. Break it down again.
Well, Andy, it's all how you bounce back, right? And look, it's an exciting time for the Americans. It's a new era. Of course, you have players like Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz at the top. It's pretty much seems like it's those two against the world. But you know what? You have two American men in the top 8, seated in the top 8 for the first time since 2007. And that's Taylor Fritz, who made it to the finals last year, of course. He ran into Jannik Sinner. And then there's Ben Shelton, who has made it as far as the semis. He did that back in 2023. John McEnroe, I would say he knows a thing or two about tennis. He thinks that it's Shelton that has the best shot at a deep run. And then on the women's side, you have Aryna Sabalenka, who is the defending champ. She's looking really good. She cruised in straight sets, took the first set 7-5, then cruised 6-2 in her the second set of her first round match. Keep an eye on her. Coco Gauff, the winner of the 2023 U.S. Open. She could always make a run. I mean, I could go on and on, but it's just, look, Novak Djokovic, he's playing right now. He said there's nothing like being under the bright lights of Arthur Ashe, and he's won 24 Grand Slams, 4 of them in Flushing. He knows a thing or two, and it's just the atmosphere, the energy is absolutely electric this time of year in New York.
Yeah, hopefully he can bounce back from his first pitch. I believe it was the Mets game. I think he bounced it, so maybe he could have a
yeah,
better
he
showing.
Was in the Bronx, yes.
Oh, he was in the Bronx. Sorry, I didn't want to wrong stadium there. Jennifer, let me ask.
Well, it was forgettable nonetheless.
Yeah, it was. Hopefully you can have a better showing this time around. I want to ask you what you mentioned about John McEnroe saying Shelton might have a better chance than Fritz. Do you concur with that? We saw Shelton play very impressively at Wimbledon. Do you think Shelton's the guy, the American, that people can rally behind?
Yeah, absolutely. He's my pick. He's young. He's fearless. When he's firing on all cylinders, he plays a big game. He's got a big serve. He's got a big forehand. And we've seen him make it to the semis. And then, I mean, infamously, you know, hung up the phone on his opponent. You know, regardless of how far Ben goes, he's going to put on a show. And again, he conserved his energy today, winning in straight sets. He dropped a total of, I believe, 6-4, 6-2, 6-3. So I'm doing the math. 10 games. He dropped 10 games. He's conserving his energy for a deep run.
Yeah, he's a big server, so he tries to make those matches kind of quick. Let's talk about the two stars, though, on the men's side, because we have a new generation. Went from Federer to Nadal to Djokovic. Djokovic's still right in it, but between Sinner and Alcaraz, what two stars these are? And this is, they posed as, obviously, at Wimbledon, it was Sinner that got the best of Alcaraz, but he, I believe, still trailed. They're pretty equal in terms of major wins. What do you see from these two guys? Is it really these two guys and then the field in terms of who might come out on top?
Well, their talent level is prodigic. They peaked very young. They're fearless. Carlos Alcaraz is just built. Speaking of McEnroe, he said this. He is just built different. His stamina, his endurance, he literally puts it all out on the court. You know, we've seen his celebrations. He is literally lying on the court after one of those 5-setters. And the fact that he can take it that distance and play at that level in the 5th set, we've seen it before from the greats, Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, and of course, Novak Djokovic, who don't count him out because he, you know, he could have easily gotten 26 Grand Slams if, you know, certain things had gone his way. And then for Sinner, you know, once Sinner won at Wimbledon, and Wimbledon is, of course, everyone loves the U.S. Open. Wimbledon is very prestige. It's another favorite tournament amongst players. Once Sinner kind of, you know, had that counterpunch, we officially have a bona fide rivalry. And in my opinion, it's those two against the world. Their talent level is just operating on another level. I think we could see Shelton, if he continues to progress the way he's progressing, get close to that level.
Yeah, Sinner is just so powerful, especially forehand there. But also Alcaraz,
Yes.
he's never out of a point, no matter what happens in that one. Let's turn to the women's side, because we saw Coco Gauff last year win, but Sabalenka going out early in Wimbledon. Do you think there's a fire in her to come back and really prove that she is the top player in the women's game?
Absolutely. I actually was able to speak to her. She was at an event where she made pizza and handed out pizza slices in Brooklyn, very New York. And she said that she loves the pressure of defending her title, and she believes she can do it. Her serve is the best part of her game, and it is a big serve. Her forehand, I was watching her practice. Just in case you were wondering, I've been out there 3 times already, and this was before the tournament had ever even started. The first part of getting better is just acknowledging that you have a little bit of a problem, a little bit of a tennis addiction. But she looks really strong, really healthy, and yeah, any great tennis player will tell you they've learned the most from their losses. So I don't know. I'm really liking Sabalenka on the women's side.
Yeah, and if she wins, there's going to be a TikTok there along the way, because she is obviously a star on social media, similar to you, Jen, there. Before I let you go, and you mentioned to some of the festivities, some of the drinks taking place, and I want to put this up from Forbes, saying last year the U.S. Open cocktail record, more than $500,000 on the Honey Deuce, $23 a pop. U.S. Open is one of my bucket list kind of sporting events to go to. Can you talk about the atmosphere? Obviously, those Honey Deuces maybe liven people up a little bit, but can you talk about the atmosphere? Can you describe it?
Yeah, it's like nothing. I call it an upscale tailgate. Okay. And what I mean by that is you will hear every language being spoken. You have your casual fans to your tennis nerds, and it's just one of the most amazing atmospheres. A lot of times they'll have a band out by the fountains. Sometimes there are fountains outside of Arthur Ashe, and people just like sit on those fountains and watch the actions on a huge screen from outside, as there's like a DJ like spinning hits in the background. Those Honey Deuces, I'm happy to report they are still $23. I thought with how popular they were last year that they were going to go up $1, but I'm happy to report they are still $23. The hats are going for $40 this year, so it's going to cost you. It's going to set you back, but I'm a tennis fan, so I'm a little biased. I think it's worth every penny, and if it's on your bucket list, I think you need to, it sounds like you have a little tickle in your throat, Andy. I think you need to call out and come out to the U.S. Open.
Don't tell our bosses, but I might be playing hooky there and coming to it with you.
Off the record, of course.
Yeah, of course. This is definitely not going out to millions of people anywhere. All right, but it's going to be a fun one. Hopefully they have happy hour there for those Honey Deuces. Jen, anything else? I know you're so into it. It's so very cool, the U.S. Open. Anything else? It's a 2-week marathon of a stretch. Anything else you want to know?
I would tell people wear flats. You're going to be doing a lot of walking, stay hydrated, and be in it for the long haul. Like, get there early, and you'll see some of the best tennis around Arthur Ashe. The grandstand, I saw Shelton play last year in the grandstand, and it's first come, first serve. Obviously, the seats in the shade fill up a little quicker, but you're so close to the action, and to be so close to someone who can serve 130 miles per hour without blinking is pretty amazing. And so, yeah, I think I hope an American makes a deep run, because I will say 2023 was very special. We saw Francis Tiafoe, fantastic story there. He made a run. Kim Pegula's always kind of lurking. We saw Madison Keys, another American, finally break through at the age of 29 and win the Australian Open. So while I think Shelton can make a run, I'm not counting Coco out. I think Coco and Aryna have their own little rivalry going on. I would love to see a few Americans make a run, and I think we can see that happen. That's
so very true. And you mentioned some of these great tennis players, but man, what characters they are. They really shine best under the bright lights at Arthur Ashe. All right, Jennifer, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Enjoy the U.S. Open. Thanks for your coverage.
Thank you so much, Andy.
All right.